Hi, everybody. This time, this interview, this very special interview, is with Wicca's wardrobe designer, Wicca Merlin. Hello, Wicca.
Hello, C.
Oh my gosh, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm very good and excited and nervous but good.
Oh, tell me everything. Why are you so nervous about?
About the interview, because that's actually the first time that I'm interviewed in voice, so I cannot peek on the dictionary and stuff like that. I have to answer right away.
No big problem. If you start talking German to me, that would be the end of the interview.
Okay, I promise I can hold that back.
Okay, tell me something, if you can tell everybody. Where are you in real life?
Oh, I'm from Germany, from the south of Germany. Near Nuremberg. It's in Bavarian, but it's a special place in Bavaria. It's Franconia. It's a very special place in Bavaria, so we don't like to be called Bavarians. We are Franconians. It's a very old tradition.
So, again, 2 European girls talking?
Yes, indeed.
You and I, we kind of know each other like forever.
This is true. Very true.
We've been modeling together. I've known you like since I remember started modeling.
It's the same here.
Same, right?
I remember lots of magazine jobs together, shows, fashion weeks.
Was there a point, a moment, when you decided, okay, I'm gonna be a designer?
To be honest, it was not a special decision. It was something that came one after another, because I originally started out with poses only, because for a longer time I made poses for my blog myself, because I was so tired always looking through my 4,000 poses to find the right one, and sometimes I did not even find the right one. So I learned to make that with help of friends. And at a certain point, people started to asking me where I got my poses. And I was like, I made them myself. And then they started encouraging me, hey, you should sell those. And I was like, I don't know. We have so many good pose makers. Why would there be a need for me to sell poses? Yeah, but it can be fun. Just try it. And this was the first thing that I ever sold, actually. And I thought more about poses in the beginning as about clothing. And then one came to another. I found crazy shoes, and I thought, this could be something I could like, and I could not find them elsewhere. And then I found those amazing templates on Marketplace, and I thought, let's try that. And I just made them for myself again, and then made a blog picture, and I was asked, where are these shoes from? And I was like, okay, I made them by myself. And they were like, why don't you sell those? And that's how it started, basically. And the more I tried, the more I felt the desire to do even more. Like, there's a top that I ever would have liked, or there's a certain neck piece or whatever. And so it came one to one, and in the end, like, about 2 or 3 months ago, we even started to work in Blender ourselves, because I have some ideas that I never found anywhere, not even as kind of pre-mades or something. So yeah, we even had to learn Blender now.
Yeah. I know you start to have your original mesh, right? How's that? I mean, working with Blender yourself and... Oh my God.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. And I have to admit, the most of the actually Blender work, if it goes to the hard part, my boyfriend is doing, because I'm so captured between having ideas and scribble them down and making pictures and making textures, so we kind of share this. And I basically tell him, listen, what about this? Or he comes with an idea and say, look, this looks crazy. And I was like, let's tweak this and that. And then one part gives the other. And it's just, you are more free in your designs or in your ideas if you can actually make the shapes yourself and have not to rely on kind of pre-mates or put a lot of stuff together and then you cannot find the right piece or whatever.
When you are, one thing I noticed, because we have been working together a lot to prepare for your first anniversary show.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
You won AV Choice Awards 2014 for the newest designer, 1 year or less.
Oh yes, this was a big, big moment, and it was totally surprising because I was following AV Choice for a longer time, and like you as well, I was nominated as model or blogger the years before, and but this year I totally was totally surprised when I kind of had the nomination, and I saw that there were like 20 other great stories of great people, kind of pre-mades or something. So yeah, we even had to learn Blender now.
Yeah. I know you start to have your original mesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's that? I mean, working with Blender yourself and oh my god,
it's very exciting. It's very exciting, and I have to admit, the most of the actually Blender work, if it goes to the hard part, my boyfriend is doing, because I'm so captured between having ideas and scribble them down and making pictures and making textures, so we kind of share this. And I basically tell him, listen, what about this? Or he comes with an idea and say, look, this looks crazy. And I was like, let's tweak this and that. And then one part gives the other. And it's just, you are more free in your designs or in your ideas if you can actually make the shapes yourself and have not to rely on kind of pre-mates or put a lot of stuff together and then you cannot find the right piece or whatever.
When you are, one thing I noticed, because we have been working together a lot to prepare for your first anniversary show.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
You won AV Choice Awards 2014 for the newest designer, 1 year or less.
Oh yes, this was a big, big moment, and it was totally surprising because I was following AV Choice for a longer time, and like you as well, I was nominated as model or blogger the years before, and but this year I totally was totally surprised when I kind of had the nomination, and I saw that there were like 20 other great stories of great people. And I was like, okay, this never works out. You did not do that much yet. And most of the others are, I think they are way more popular, the names and everything. So I was like, I already had the thought, I already made it that I at least was nominated. That was, for me, that already was a win. And I never counted on actual really winning this award. And I remember very well that I was walking a show when those awards were announced, and remember we were in Skype, and all of a sudden you screamed like crazy, and I was like, "What did happen, Godhand?" And he was like, "You won it! You won!" I was like, "No, you're kidding me! No, really!" And I nearly forgot to my walk at that show, and I was like, I was totally shocked in a positive way. But this really was a big, big thing. And I'm still kind of...
I was watching live.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was following, like, you know, we have in our world, in our jobs, we pretty much know everybody. So I was following everybody. When it got to your category, I was like, okay, let me see. Wicca's wardrobe. Yeah, so I screamed
Oh yeah,
at your
very
Skype.
well.
Okay, you won.
That was a super exciting moment, and I felt like on drugs for like 5 or 6 days until I finally got this award in my hands. I was like, oh my god, and it started again. I again was like feeling butterflies in my stomach, and I cannot describe this. This was just overwhelming for me.
Oh, I so understand you. Why did you decide to go ahead and do your first runway showcase with SCALA?
This is a good question, and it was, to the same time, it was not an easy, but it was as well not a hard decision, because we know each other for a long time. I know that we have a lot in common, you and me, and so I thought if somebody can pick up my vision of what I want to do, and with the quality of SCALA producing shows, and I saw the graduation show, the first one, that I already sponsored with my male stuff when Lisu sponsored the female. Yeah, and then I saw the graduation show of the last one with Honey
Bender.
And it was just an amazing quality. And a lot of my friends are in SCALA, and very many special people are in SCALA. And in the end, the quality of what I want to, or what I think of, or what I imagine, and
your vision,
my vision, and like I said, that I was knowing you can pick up my vision, and I wanted to have a crazy runway with a crazy walk. And I remember back then from my graduation in Avenue, when I had Crypt as an instructor, that she is the queen of the crazy walks. And I wanted that for my show.
Oh yes, if you want the more elaborate walks,
exactly,
then you go to Kryptonia.
Exactly. And so it was a given that when you, that understands my vision, and Kryptonia, and the great team that is behind SCALA, where I know a lot of people as well, that made it relatively easy then to make the decision. Plus, we share the same sim as well, so it would have been stupid to go far, far away if you can have it at home.
Yes. I'm glad. I'm so glad, because I think it's an exciting thing for both of us.
Yeah,
both for SCALA and for you.
And I heard you have 1 year anniversary as well in January, so it kind of falls on the same thing.
Yes. Yes, SCALA was born on January 6th. We decided not to do a first anniversary show, but we're doing it with you anyway.
Yes.
So it's the first year for the both of us.
Exactly.
Now, to a completely different thing, to know a little bit more about you. You're probably going to kill me. Shoot me.
Probably.
Throw me down the balcony.
We will see.
I know in real life you work with music bands.
Exactly. I'm a musician in real life, and I play in several bands. I work for several bands. That's true.
Okay. Pick a tune. Just out of your head right now.
Mother Earth from... how they're called? Within Temptation. From the song is Mother Earth from Within Temptation.
Okay. So I'm writing it down, and while we talk, we're going to listen to it.
Oh, awesome.
Tell me something. Besides the fact that you are a designer right now, you have been a model, a blogger, you've worked in other agencies, in all kinds of the fashion industry, in all kinds of jobs that we may have. Let's go back in time. What made you one day start and try something like Second Life?
Originally, it was out of the curiosity with my job being the music, because a friend of mine told me, listen, go to Second Life because you can meet people all over the world, and there are clubs from all over the world, so you can listen to totally different music, traditional music, pop music, for example, for Asian pop music, Japanese pop music. And that was the original drive why I entered Second Life. I wanted to experience, because it's very hard in Europe to really get the real Asian or Japanese or Russian pop and rock music. So we really have to research very hard. So I thought to meet people, actually, because they told me that there's a lot of musicians in Second Life. So I thought it would be a great experience to kind of meet people musicians from all over the world and talk to them how the business is, how the music is, and as well listen to it for sure. That was the original intention why I joined Second Life.
So you didn't start exactly like a model?
No,
right?
Not at all. I started like probably as the most of the Second Life users, just roaming around in clubs, dancing, chatting, having fun. Back then, when I was going through the clubs and dancing as well, I met Honey Bender as well in 2007 already. So that was very funny because we met way later again in the fashion industry. So that was kind of funny. The same is for Veronica Krasner and Rhonda Pennell. I guess you know both of those too. I know them out of my clubbing times as well. So we have a long past as well. And actually, Veronica was the one that brought me on the idea of modeling. Because I know that I was shopping back then in a very popular shoe store, and I met her after we kind of were not any. She kind of disappeared from all the clubbing scene, and I met her at that shoe store, and I was asking her, "What are you doing?" And I perfed her profile, and she said, "Oh, I'm a model now." And I was like, "What the hell? A model in Second Life?" And she was like, "Yes, you should try that. That's amazing." And I was like, "What are you doing then?" "Oh, we present great clothes on the runway, and you have kind of jobs that you can do, and you even get paid for." And I was like, "You are kidding me?" And she was like, No, it's real. And this was when I discovered the fashion business in Second Life in 2008. At the beginning of 2008, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
In terms of modeling, besides your brand now, how would you consider yourself? You know, there are more, in real life, there are more, how can I say this, more fashion models that do fashion weeks all over the world, on the runways, and more commercial models that actually in real life make a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
like the Victoria's Secret models. In Second Life, I think we can find that as well. Where will you say you fit as a model?
I definitely, I'm not a contest model or contest person. I never was about that. For me, it was always about runway and showcasing designers' work, actually. So for me, it's more the fashion week style, the runway style, doing print jobs for designers, like the real model work. Not so much. I'm not so much into pigans or beauty contests or something like that. I think that they have to be there too because they bring out great people. But personally for myself, I see myself on the runway and being with people and making connections to people, looking for new jobs, kind of that.
So that would be like you and me. We are not the kind of contest models.
Exactly.
Probably from my experience and from watching you, our work as models has been pretty much about the runway.
Exactly.
And then informing ourselves on how to produce shows.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of experience with that. And
that
makes you a runway model?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Fashion model.
Yeah, I would say yes. I even tried having an agency back then in, I guess it was 2010, together with Tatanka and Arisia. That lasted for quite a while. But in the end, I realized that I'm not somebody that leads and sends people. So I really kind of belong more to the... I can be a helping hand, and I like to contribute, but I'm not so much somebody that kind of pulls back everything and just coordinates things. I want to be with a crowd, you know. Maybe that is out of my musician's heart. I cannot kind of be pulled back, and I kind of want to be close to the people, and this is why I kind of went back to being a fashion model again and not doing my own agency.
You are a team person.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Now, in the middle of the interview, now we picked a tune. Think of a movie that comes like pop in your head right now.
I have one long-time favorite movie that I always pull first when I say it, and then people start giggling about it. Because my favorite, or my long-time favorite movie, what I carry around for years now, is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Actually, the movie, not the musical. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's not the musical. There's a musical as well, but there was a TV movie made with Tim Curry. And this is, I don't know. It's crazy. It's fresh. It's daring. It's provocating. And so if I'm asked what's my favorite movie, I would pull the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Do you say that's with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, Tim Curry. He's playing the Dr. Frankenfurter, what's actually a transvestite. It's very funny. But it's kind of a persiflage, and it was made back in the 70s. So it's really, or end of 70s, but beginning of 80s. But it has a very, very much 70s, 80s touch, the whole thing. And it's still on the road. Yeah, and it's still on the road as a musical, actually.
Oh my god. It's cool because you mentioned an actor that is known for being a comedian.
Exactly.
And for me, when people ask me, well, tell me about an actor that you think is really, really like sexy and awesome and handsome, I actually say Jim Carrey. Because usually people are used to see him more as a comedian. So I see a lot of interviews. I try to watch a lot of interviews with him. He has an energy that never ends. He keeps everybody in a good mood.
Oh wait, you're talking about Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Tim Curry.
Oh, good Lord.
But I know what you're talking about. And Jim Carrey is a great actor, actually. He's one of my favorite actors.
Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I think about Jim Carrey in the 70s?
Second Life, being not that nice with voice again, and then Tim and Jim is very close, and I tend to mumbling sometimes.
Oh my gosh! And I was going. That's the good thing about live interviews is when you go like Jim Carrey this, Jim Carrey that. Wait, it's not Jim, it's Tim.
Exactly.
So guys, you're watching like I'm not going to edit anything. It goes like this. Because this is like Wicca and me talking.
Exactly. And editing would just be cheating.
Yes. It's just us on a daily basis going on Skype and talking like for hours. And something that you probably don't know about Wicca. Let me see if I'm right about this. You are a night owl.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You are awake during the night. And when I'm like falling to the side, falling apart, trying to stay awake, and we keep talking for hours, and you have this energy going on like forever. How's that?
Honestly, I think it's a musician thing, because if you're a musician, you get used to kind of work at nights, because usually you start playing around 9 in the evening and it goes like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and after that you have to drive home, and I'm doing that for over 20 years. And I guess it's in my genes as well, because I remember when I was in school, I tried always learning and exercising at night. My mom was yelling at me all the time, and I did it under the blanket and whatnot. I think it's kind of like an inner clock, and I'm a night person. I always was, kind of.
Oh, that's amazing for me, because yeah, I can sleep late in my mornings. We're both in Europe, but when it gets to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I'm like falling apart.
So much coffee you had today.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so you create also at night.
Yeah, it's for me the most quiet time to create, because the later it goes, the more the people go to bed, and because I have to admit, I'm easily distracted by stuff. So if I have a good talk on the side, I totally forget that I had Photoshop open and I was creating something. And that's typically me. That's maybe part of my ADHD, that you can't simply distract me from doing something. And the later it gets, the more people go to bed, and the quieter the whole life goes. And I guess that's part of it.
That's true. That's true. When I talked to Honey Bender, she said she used to wake up really early in the morning because also it was quiet. And you do it at night.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Now, think of a book that somehow impacted your life, or you just like it.
Do I have to pick one book, or can I go for an author?
You can go for an author, yes.
Because I'm a totally Stephen King addicted, and I probably read everything what he ever wrote.
Why?
And as soon as he brings new stuff, I just kind of jump on it. It was not that much lately, but all the things that he made, like The Stand, or I don't know all the English titles, to be honest. Insomniac was great.
Why Stephen King?
He fascinates me with his visions, with his ideas, because they're kind of so out of the world and to the same time so into the world. And sometimes it's so weird, and to the same time it's not weird, if you think about it. I just like his visions and how he kind of tries to build these visions into nowadays society, more or less. Because he always tries to put it, to bring it back to the actual time. He's not going for a future time frame most of the time. He's going for like the village near you or something, and then all those weird stuff happens. So it's really interesting, and many of his things kind of, I read that once, are based on scientist things that he just develops more, that he kind of puts his fantasy to. And I'm very excited, and I'm very curious how such a person, and he looks like an usual, you would never even realize him by walking over the street. And at the same time, there's so a mastermind behind him. I just adored that.
I remember seeing a photo of him, and he lives in actually what I think, if I remember correctly, in a very rural area.
Yeah, exactly.
in a little village.
Exactly.
So, how does he come up with those ideas and such an amazing vision of the society and the times we live in?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And,
Stephen King.
if you go more into, I'm really addicted to him, and if you see that he even started in an age of 7 to write the first science fiction fantasy things, and then he develops this. It's just, I'm just totally fascinated from him.
Okay. Are you the type of person that sits back and watches TV?
Rarely, but there is moments where I do that.
Yeah. Instead of watching TV and spending some time in sitting on your couch, what do you do?
I'm playing music. Like I grab my guitar and just sit down and try stuff, and sometimes there even come songs out of it. But making music is for me the biggest kind of to relax.
Do you sing as well?
At home, yes. In bands, usually in the background, and I had one kind of guitar duo with another female where we both were singing main vocals, yeah.
Do you have your guitar with you?
If I do that now at 3 at night, they will just kill me.
Okay. Is it an electrical guitar?
No, it's an acoustic, but I'm living under the roof in only a house with kind of 3 different apartments.
Yeah.
And the roof is not that quiet, and the person below me, who's actually my landlord as well, he has to get up at between 5 and 6, and he will definitely hear me.
Oh my god! I was so wanted to surprise you and to go like, we could play for us for a little bit. No way, because we are actually doing this interview quite late for us in Europe.
Maybe there's another time where we can do that.
Sure. Tell me and tell all of us who are listening and watching us something about you that you feel you have never said in Second Life. Tricky.
I hide, basically, usually I hide a lot of my real life, and there's not many people that actually really know about me being a musician.
Yeah.
Or having maybe that is something, because I had in a magazine an interview with my real life band that actually is connected to Second Life, and I never told that. I played for a long time, and we still do it, but it just went a little bit more rare because of other projects. I had an AC/DC tribute band with all girls, and with that band we actually developed further, making our own songs in that AC/DC style, but 5 ladies only. And with that band we even had an interview in a magazine that was published, Real and Second Life.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And to end our interview, let's go to Wicca's wardrobe. What are we going to see during your first anniversary showcase of Wicca's wardrobe?
This is a very difficult thing to say in one sentence, because basically, usually if you do a fashion show, you kind of present a new collection. But for the first anniversary, if I think back that whole year, it was loaded with so many different emotions and so many different ups and downs, and I lost people, I met new people, I started out on my own, and actually nowadays we are a full team at Wicca's Wardrobe, like with Red doing Blender. A friend of mine called Viovis as well joined us lately. with doing Blender stuff, and the biggest person in my second life that actually now really joined us too is Sassy Nurpo. I know her since in forever, and we're growing together like sisters. And she did for a longer time she was my PA, and then when she became the COO, CCO, I already exchanged those C's and O's of my store and handled all the customer service and everything. And the most exciting was when she agreed to kind of collaborate with her brand Fatal, with Wicca's Wardrobe. So this will be the most recent news for 2015. And in the show, it will be kind of the history of the whole year. I will have my very first outfit in that show. I will have my very last outfit in that show. I will have new releases that I actually extra made for this show, for special people, and some walks that maybe might not be expected because of I wanted to have special people walking with me. Like you and Chris.
Would those people be?
Actually, it will be the last book that was a personal wish of mine, that I can walk with you and Crypt. Because this is kind of for me a new beginning as well, because since you asked me more than once, I'm now allowed to kind of try the first time teaching at SCALA as well in January. And so it was kind of for me to have a walk with you and Crypt in the end. It was kind of to underline the new start of 2015 for me. But the whole show will be an up and down and very emotional in outfits. So we will not have just usual jeans and t-shirt combinations, because many of the outfits that are in the show have special moments to it, special emotions to it. And I guess after what I saw already from stylings, the models picked it up very well and transport the emotions in an amazing way over. So I guess this will be a very exciting show.
I know you. I know you get emotional.
Probably my biggest weakness.
Or your biggest strength.
Or that.
When people cry or feel emotional, society tends to think that it's a weakness.
This is true.
However, I believe it's actually an extreme strength, because to be able to show our own vulnerabilities, we have to be very strong to do it, very confident.
Good point on that, yeah. Plus, I was told once, and it was in my real life for being a musician, because there's certain songs, if I want or not, I start crying. And there's not a special moment to it or a special mood. As soon as they start, I start crying.
Do you have one that you can tell us?
One would be Tears in Heaven from Eric Clapton, for example. As soon as I hear the bad part of this, I tried to play that song on the guitar. Actually, technically I'm able to, but I start crying as well when I play it. I don't know what it is. It has something attached, and there's a few more songs to it like that. And I was told being creative is a very emotional thing.
It is.
And so I should not be afraid to let emotions flow, even if then tears flow as well. So
yeah. Has it ever happened to you to actually start working on a certain outfit and have that effect on you, that emotion on you?
Yes. And it's an outfit I never finished, because when I had a real life friend, a very good friend. It was a girl, and she actually was designing clothing in real life. She was tailoring them as well, and she died of cancer back in 2004. And I have very few memories of the last dress or gown or whatever it was. It was kind of cocktail thing, what she made. And I tried to pray, because she never finished it, because the cancer was too fast and she lost the fight too early. And I was trying to kind of finish it with my own way from that what she started. And every time I open the Photoshop file, I start crying. And I'm not able to finish it.
That is so curious. Because when you said that one of the songs that makes you feel emotional is Tears in Heaven,
yeah.
I was going to ask you, but I was afraid to. If you had lost someone in your life, and you just said you lost a very good friend.
Yeah.
And Tears in Heaven is all about that.
Exactly.
Like you said, through the year, losing people, meeting new people, all of that is going to be reflected in your designs.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah. This is maybe the reason why my designings or my creations so different, because one day I can go and make something in green and feel all happy about it, and the next day I start over and want to work on that dress or pants again, and all of a sudden they turn black. And I follow a lot the emotions I have, the moods I have when I opening Second Life and opening Photoshop. And sometimes you have just to leave things be and don't touch it for a longer time. But it's always about a mood, a feeling, something that came across me or my head and that in that day. So you really can end up with a portion of cream on your head in my outfits. If it was just a wonderful sunny day and I had ice cream and I liked the cream so much on top. So it's a very much, I do what I feel without following any rules or whatever.
You know, one of the things that I love about the people that I usually am connected to is the fact that all of you are very genuine. I mean, the person you are in real life is pretty much, in Second Life, it's an extension of you.
Yes.
So to get you to understand your emotional part when doing an outfit, I'm guessing that preparing an outfit, I'm guessing that from now on, everybody that's going to wear your outfits are going to think, what is the emotion behind it? How was Wicca?
And if I can really transport an emotion over to somebody who wears it, then I would say it's for me a success, because then I could express it so good in my very own way, and if other people can just adapt it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, adapt it to themselves. Well, a good example actually is the outfits that we're both wearing. I'm wearing a completely different outfit from you, both from designed by you. So this red one was probably designed in a happy day.
Oh yes.
Happy sunny day.
That was really a very happy day, actually, when this outfit happened. Because that was roundabout when my boyfriend came home from hospital from his cancer surgery. That was roundabout that time when I made this outfit.
Because you usually tell me, oh my gosh, you're wearing one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I know it's somehow connected to an emotion, something that you lived in your real life.
Yeah.
It's amazing to always amazing to be with you, to chat with you. We could go on forever.
Oh yeah,
no,
that I only can give back to you. It's like we forgot time for so many times at night, and it was only we only realized when you said, oh my gosh, I'm really sleeping in, and it was like 4 a.m.
Exactly. Because we keep chatting about ourselves, how we feel, things that happen, and for some reason, like I say, Second Life, for me, I understand for other people it's not this way, but for me, and I feel that for you, it's just an extension of ourselves in real life.
Definitely.
So we just talk about things, real life things, our lives, our kittens.
Oh yeah.
The simplest things make the simplest pleasures, and it's just amazing. Would you like to say something to invite everybody to your show on Saturday, January 31st?
I would love to see everybody I ever had worked with, I ever had contact with, to share just this amazing past year, because like I said, it's not just a fashion show to me. It's kind of as well a big thank you to all the people who supported me over the year, who helped me, who were at my side, even the ones that I might have lost or something. They all added to that year. Anyways, if that wasn't a good or in a bad way, it all added up to that what it is now, and I don't want to miss 1 minute of it. And so I would like to have everybody come and be with me in that very special moment where I can kind of pass through this year again over the show. And the building is amazing because one of my Second Life sisters built that. The choreo will be made by Crypt. You kind of produce the whole show. You and Red gonna DJ, so it will be. I just think it will be a great event and happening as well, and not just a simple fashion show. And I would like to share it with as many people as I can.
Okay, so here is the invitation. Everybody, come over. We will send the invite later on, and everybody can pop up, and maybe we will do the same thing as we did last graduation show. We completely filled the sim.
That would be a dream to have that again. Full sim with a lot of
full sim. Wicca, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
for showing me your place, because we are at your place, at your secret piece of heaven that you actually shared with me, and now with all of you that are watching and listening to this interview.
That's the first time actually that somebody comes here to my Second Life living room, basically.
That's so good. Thank you, Wicca. And everybody, the show is going to be on January 31st. For us, it's going to be just this upcoming Saturday. Thank you, Wicca.
I have to thank you, Seashell.